million, a championship axe, a championship trophy, and a title. But keep in mind, as we watch these duos go head-to-head, think about this for a moment. Second place and third. If I'm a duo and I can get a single point difference, that is literally $250,000 of difference. So y'all need to make some noise, pay attention, because every single interaction is going to be huge.
That's absolutely right. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars between each of these places. There's so many different storylines. The story is not over, even though Cooper and Miro are so far ahead. And I mean, who knows what can happen? We saw it at Invitational. Will they get landed on?
Ooh, could you imagine Cammy and Seti taking a page from the book of Queasy and Vino? We'll have to wait and see.
I would love to, but you know what? We've got something special lined up for you. We've got our man Levin2K on the stage to get us hyped for game number 6.
The final game is here. It is time to crown some champions. Royal Arena, are you ready? The players on this stage have given everything of their being to be here for this moment, to be here for this trophy. So I need to give you everything you've got. I ain't starting this game until we tear the roof off this building. Royal Arena, are you ready? It is time! Game number 6 is here!
Here we have it. Game number 6 is here. The Royal Arena is ready, and the grand finals couldn't be more hype than this. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see how this all plays out. We have so much to give out, so much on the line.
Almost terrifying for a second there, listening to Levin on that stage going absolutely crazy alongside all these fans here in the building. You guys have been ecstatic to witness and watch you cheer on. But some of these players still need your energy for one more game here. Royal Arena as Thomas HD, Malabuka. They've managed to survive the initial drop, but the damage is still yet to come next because Malabuka, Thomas, a little bit further away from Kanata and Agers. They wish to play this one out to give themselves the best opportunity possible to work their way up the leaderboard. Could see some action coming back, but for Pixie, cheating, trouble for sure. Pixie already knocked, cheating though, might have an opportunity here to revive his teammate.
They're off to a pretty rough start right now. This is gonna set them back time, resources, and most importantly, damage, as that is the hardest to come by after you start losing these opening moments. But it does make you wonder, why couldn't Kanata and Agers just split racetrack before? Why couldn't they survive a little longer? They clearly played so well when they were able to survive, but that's a story for another time today.
It's not
for now.
necessarily just Kanata and Agers at that point, though. Thomas and Malabuka wanted that just as badly as them. And right now, neither side really faring all too well for it.
Well, we're gonna have to put a button on it. Grand Finals Match 6 is here. Cooper and Miro have an incredible lead over the competition. And that is, of course, the battle for $1 million. But back at the racetrack, there's a little more action going down. Kanata and Agers are on the hunt. I spoke too soon. They want to close this one out in good fashion. NA versus EU all weekend long here. And EU has been the one to pay the price so far, but both times fully situated here to 2v1. Agers and Kanata close the deal here. Thomas HD left to pick up the pieces.
For Agers and Kanata, not a whole lot to grab there off of Malabuka, but at the same time, 4 elimination points is 4 elimination points that they'll be more than happy to try and take away. Kanata and Agers, though, seeming as if there might have been a little bit of a rise of interference there in that elimination process.
I was gonna say, find out where that puts Kanata and Agers. You know, they might just have that late tournament stride comeback. Hey, there's still plenty of money on the line here. A lot to fight for outside of the bragging rights. Video and Mr. Savage, though, in the meanwhile, are fighting up here against Thoric. And I got the update. It looks like that puts them at 13th place. Not bad for a team fully contested. Meanwhile, Vidil, though, claps back onto Thoric. Nicely done for Mr. Savage and Vidil.
If there's ever someone who loves a good box fight, you're definitely going to be looking at Vidil here. Kylie for Strokey, also trying to see if they can win their own little mashups here. Deeps outside of Steamy Springs territory for Strokey, though. He's a massive pump shot. And just like that, gonna be forced to take a step back here, leading Kylie on the offensive, but Kylie's got some great early on to Datus, though. No chance that he's gonna be backing up Stain anytime soon. He's gotta hide behind that tree. Two versus one pressure, and Stain just not able to match up. But Strokey and Kylie will win this one for the time being, but Datus might still be able to collect the reboot card, but he's got to be careful that he doesn't get Elam too.
Just doesn't get better than that when your team is hitting you shots like that. The backup can't even come in to support you. Axe Force and Robot. Robot had the run of his life last game, really turning up. And this was the same story. It's all early game fights. They didn't find much. They were hurt, but no! Sniped from behind! And Axe Force is gonna pay the price too as Sherry takes the elimination. It's Paper and Muzz here. They know this team had to be hurt because Robot had full advantage before that happened. And Paper is devastating with that sniper, but Breacher Shotgun's gonna let him open up any door he pleases. They find Gyros, big tags there, not a finish, but he's hurt.
Absolute miracle that Gyros did not go down in the process there, though. But Muzz, Paper, they are relentless with this charge. Sherry doing everything he can to try and create some distance, but just look at how far apart the split is now. Gyros left to fend for himself. Paper, Muzz now have their choice of pickings. Seems as though they're going to divert their attention to Gyros for the time being. Paper, though, recognizing the fact another interference play, this time coming out of Nutty, just outside of Shady Springs. And I can't believe this right now. Just the fact that Gyros and Sherry nearly managed to escape.
Mr. Savage and Vidil close the deal, close the books on Bolt's run here. Back to the tournament lobby he goes. That's gonna be it for his grand finals run. And for every team that falls now, for every team that closes their chapter here at the Global Championships, you have to respect them for making it this far. Your 50 best duos across the entire world competing against one another here today, giving us the show, of course, here in person and online. What a celebratory moment here for this $4 million land.
And just look at Cooper, boxed up so high right now. Rumble Ruins just in the center of this current zone. Granted, the zone, obviously, very large for the time being, but still, Cooper definitely trying to just be as attentive as possible to see where he might be able to secure some good surge tank damage from, because you have to remember, this team, they've been uncontested all day so far, and yet have seemingly not struggled all that much as far as their surge strategy is concerned. So they're definitely making up for the damage elsewhere. And we've seen multiple instances of them doing an excellent job while they're tarping, finding those eliminations in the process. You know, and Queasy, though, here at Steamy Springs, they've got a Pink and Vico smashed in between them. But Queasy and Eno, they want to take their time here. Don't want to panic by any means.
Not looking good right now for Pink, though, as he loses all his shield. Look how quickly Vino is coming in to constrict. No, he's gonna back up. Respects the push, doesn't have Queasy here quite to back him up, so something comes out. Something must have been a little fishy in the air, so not worth it. The damage is welcomed here, undoubtedly. The zone now continues to move on. Now we jump back to Pixie and Cheatin'. So they have survived, they have gotten back up.
Don't want to say against all odds necessarily. Think that that initial strat was because of the fact that Pixie might have been picked off in the air off the initial drop. But Cheatin' and Pixie, they still need to ensure that they have a much easier time as far as their rotational positioning is concerned, because that's definitely something that they encountered a lot of difficulties with in the last match. Huga and Threats able to put a halt to their attempts to overtake first place last game. And here, they're still within reach, but it's only getting that much further away because Cooper and Miro, they are not taking any risks that they don't need to.
As long as Cooper and Miro stand, the chances for others are not possible. So for now, they are truly the final boss here. Seti and Cammy, however, will still have a big mountain to climb. A lot of eliminations and a huge endgame run, at least somewhere inside the top 3 to snatch up 50 or more points.
And we can't forget about Bryce and Chubbs either. I mean, they've been slowly but surely sneaking their way up the leaderboard. Started off outside of the top 10, then all of a sudden they're top 5 now. In that top 3, threatening for top 2 position. You have to remember, it is tens of thousands of dollars differences that we are talking about here. So for so many of these players, just on the cusp inside of these top 5 ranges, Cammy, Seti, trying to ensure that Yuumi and Source can't intervene with their plans here at the Frenzy Field, but Cammy gonna look to reorient on his positioning. Sees the snipe attempt coming out from Source, quick on the edits as well. Not gonna let himself fall victim to that one just yet.
Quick response there to the sniper glint. Here's Chubbs and Bryce. This is exactly what they've done all day long. Continue to find fights in the shady stilts, find fights north, and find success while doing it. This time, to the potential Giannis, who's in front. Sniper's in hand. Bryce showing us what he's got. Doesn't quite land that, but the tags on the follow-up are very good. Meanwhile, Flixie finds a quick knock onto Kanata, so there's trouble in paradise all around us right now, unfolding here for the last game. For Pixie and Cheatin', let's get a little update real quick on them. They're doing just fine inside their home territory, but it's time to move. They can't stay here for much longer. The zone's already telling them they gotta go.
Could be difficult to get across these icy islets as well. But Pixie and Cheatin' definitely gonna use a couple of these slap splashes, not only for the slap effect, but obviously just to regenerate some of that HP that they need. We've seen how efficiently some of these other teams can be as far as those 3, 2, 1 countdowns are concerned, and it doesn't matter if you started off with 200, you might just end up with nothing in the process here. Clement nearly proving a point.
Wow.
What I was just speaking of, because Pixie now forced to expend some more resources just to replenish some of his shields, and Clement still trying to see just how aggressively he can try to lock out Pixie on this rotation.
Not making it easy by any means right there. Definitely gonna cost them a fair amount. Bila and Peterbot still standing in the distance. Cold and Acorn up as well. Seti, Cammy, Snazy, Podesai, all in the conversation here. For Cold and Acorn right now, I like where they're at, just in 7th place here, so real chances to jump up and earn hundreds of thousands of more. Any team inside the top 10, if you take a win, you're getting paid, son.
Almost got a little scared for Acorn there on how high up he just went. But Acorn's not the one in trouble right now. It's Vasquez, 10, attempting to take out Misha and Teeny, but Teeny from the bottom, chopping out Vasquez in the process. And that's gonna be an easy double elimination there from Misha and Teeny. More than happy to collect those points. They've been a menacing duo for sure all day long, and just continue playing spoiler for so many of these other teams in the lobby.
Every game we see them taking down different teams of varying degree and skill level. Vino goes for some shots there, ends up trading a few. Same for them, continue to rotate deep into the south side and then swing around on these western zones. So the strategy hasn't really changed much. In no way Teeny gets another game where the Rift Island is next to them. They're just continuing to fight for it. They might have the best 3-game tournament run, at least for teams that were down at the bottom trying to come back. They haven't quite the comeback so far.
They're definitely attempting it, and so far, so good as far as this capture point is concerned, but you can definitely see a couple of neighbors starting to work their way into the Rift Island. Teeny and Misha, though, they're just looking to secure this capture point as quickly as possible. Again, 15 points that they could potentially acquire here on top of all the goodies that come with the capture point.
They were in 35th place coming into this game. If they secure this, they jump up into 29th. And think about before this, they were so much further down, one of the last placing teams, and all of a sudden now, they're at 4 eliminations in a Rift Island with 15 points secured potentially to be theirs now. Just really fighting their way back into this tournament here.
Look, I know that the business turret is primarily used just to get an idea of where your opposition might be at, but it seemed as though iDrop and Mappy had no idea that that business turret had even been placed in the first place. Well executed mission there from Misha and Teeny to secure a Rift Island for the time being. Capture point does seem as if it's going to go their way. We'll have to check back in on that a little bit later on, but Pixie, Cheatin continue trying to keep that threatening position here for first place. As long as Pixie and Cheatin are out, Cooper and Miro cannot count themselves as our global champions anytime soon.
Nope. But Cheatin has to be careful. Truelex and Chicha were the same team that did finish their last tournament run, so do have to be careful. Cooper and Miro, however, do have the Rumble Ruins, continue to be the safe zone for now, so a lot of time to work with here. Metal struggling as they don't really find much here, but otherwise, so long as they've gotten their tags, they should be just fine.
And given that they're bound to have spotted out some teams looking to make the rotations in towards this center part of the map, with the way that the zone just continues to pull their direction, but now, finally, they'll be forced to reposition for the first time in a while. And still, it's not too far that they've got to go, but they need to be careful with some of those dips in the elevation. You don't want to get caught out inside any of these jungle trenches.
Let's see it. Tace and Mustache on the move now. They have to move in. Zone's going west once again, so we're going to have some very interesting tournament at play. Thomas HD and Malabuka survived the drop somehow, escaping away, remaining back in it. So Thomas actually managed to save Malabuka, get the reboot card, bring him back. And they could be the players that topple the Giants up top, but
they have no idea.
I thought they did for a second. I'm not gonna lie. The ambush comes out and Miro puts up a fight already. Now he knows, wait, there was someone lurking underneath us. Be careful.
And it's not just anyone that's lurking underneath them. It's Malabuka, it's Thomas. 2 EU Titans. Well, they might not have had the day that they were hoping for. They're still gonna look to try and pounce back at least a few positions on that leaderboard. And they could definitely put a devastating stop to Miro and Cooper's run if Miro and Cooper are not careful on their rotation out. But it does seem as though for the time being, Miro Cooper, they're gonna take a moment here just to collect their thoughts, fully ensure that they've got the proper position, the proper pathway. Thomas, though, he's tired of waiting. He's just gonna look to charge right through them with that rocket ram. Good shot, though, placed from Miro. And now it's gonna be Thomas. It's gonna be Malabuka looking to try and turn back. Seems as though other teams possibly having caught wind of some of the action taking place here at the Rumble Ruins. And Miro Cooper, they know they've got to keep it moving. They can't afford to get stuck here now. They need to get inside the edge of zone before other teams start trying to lock them out.
Here's one of the strengths, too. This is their drop. They know exactly how to maneuver it, so great for the time being. And they're just like, hey, look, we have so much surge. Let's just chill out. They go to the boat, they retreat back, go back to the heals that they know are there, and they play it smart. This is really showing that Miro and Cooper want that payday. They want that big check that could be waiting for them. This could be $1 million med kit right here that just keeps them in the game and away from Thomas HD and company. Every play now matters. Every play so important to the remainder of this game for them.
Could potentially give them the ultimate dead side rotation if you think about it, because nobody else is going to be trying to stick around like these two have been. So you can see other teams like Queasy and Veno, they've continued trying to just aggress ever forward into the next zones, but danger from above here. Queasy gonna need a moment just to replenish some of his shields.
You know what? Re and Ritual as well. You got to give them so much credit. They are continuing to find eliminations. They may very well be another team fighting for top 3 by the time this is all over. For Pixie and Cheatin here, they're just trying to hold on to their second place and fight their way to number 1. They've already gotten 2 victory royales. Asking for a third feels near impossible, but it's got to be done if they want to be the global champions. Cheatin, Pixie running past the team here. Don't go for the peak, but instead play defensively now. It's Gap 0 in the box next door. Another team lands on him. Who is this? It's Yuma.
Yumi and Soares could pose a huge threat right now for Cheatin and Pixie. Cheatin doesn't exactly have the most ammo to work with right now. It's going to be super dependent on his Maven auto shots to connect. Pixie as well trying to break through builds with this breacher, but it's going to be Soares Yumi still just outside of their box. Pixie now trying to see if he can buy his duo a little bit of time here, but they're just caught in between this entire mess.
That might have been the biggest mistake right there. They pulled Soares into the box, but they are so deathly afraid of losing second place. They are getting pushed back when they could have easily finished the elimination. But this is tournament fear. This is placement fear starting to kick in here.
You can almost see the panic.
This could be one of the most expensive lessons they learn. I hope they fight back here.
It is just crazy right now how hesitant Pixie and Cheatin are, and the hesitation is finally going to cost them. Cheatin has been knocked in the process. Pixie picking up his teammate now, hoping, nobody realizing that he's just below, but he realizes now he's gonna have to forfeit it. Tries to wrap around now to UB, and Soares won't be able to find the breacher shot that he needs though. Down to his last 17 shotgun shells here inside of this breacher. Twin Mag not gonna do him much good in such close combat. And Pixie now looking for the full retreat, throwing out metal builds in the process, trying to see if he can get down to the low ground, see if he can hide for a moment in the water here around Eclipse Estate. But he might just be open season for the rest of the lobby as Pixie now, in a moment of desperation, continues trying to build for his life. Hide from this rock, hope that the chest can give him something, anything to work with.
He needs builds from that. That's all he's trying to get at this point. No rocket ram or anything in sight. He's just got to keep going. Vino shuts him down, and down goes Pixie and Cheatin before they can earn any points. And just like that, their tournament run is over. How high can they hold here? As now, Cooper and Miro have the dream run of their lives unfolding before them.
But you can see their composure. There's no celebratory factors coming out just yet. They know Bryce, Chubbs, Cammy, Seti, these are teams that could definitely make a resurgence if they're not careful. They want every point possible in this moment, and they might just find it. They've got an excellent spot just outside the edge zone here. Decent amount of ground to cover as well, but Chubbs as a solo, he actually doesn't have Bryce with him. This is a best case scenario for Cooper and Miro.
So tough for Chubbs though. Again, hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line here. Life-changing money for Chubbs and Bryce. And their third place spot is standing on shaky ground here. He's by himself, but the smile says it all. He knows there's a chance here. I can still do this. Just gotta play smart. Gotta play to the instincts. Here we go. Rocket Ram comes out. He's off to the air here. Down is gonna land, potentially on a team. Meanwhile, Miro's in a fight, continuing to push through this lobby here. Placement points now to be earned. Every team that falls now will push teams closer and closer to more prizing.
Keep in mind though, Miro and Cooper, they might just run into Muzz, and Muzz, he lost Paper earlier on. Don't believe he's had an opportunity to look for the reboot either, based on when Paper was picked off. So now Miro in the backside, Merstash in Tayson's box. He could go massive here. He wants to find the shot to connect. Both teams gonna get dropped another layer here. Inside the box though, gonna be Tayson first to fall. Cooper and Miro just continue to grow the count. 324 points currently on the leaderboard. And Cooper, despite having been knocked, Miro's still going.
No way, but he finds Kylie there too with a huge finish. And his teammate gets finished off now too. Shot from the side here, he has no more builds. He needs this refresh. If not, it's over, and down he goes. There is still a runway in front of Cammy and Seti. If they can get over 10 eliminations and win this game, that will be a 100-point run. So it's not over yet. Chubbs falls too. Down goes Bryce, down goes Chubbs. It's all or nothing. Copenhagen, hold your breath. Let's see how far Cammy and Seti can go. Will you put your money on it, is the question.
Hard to ever count Cammy and Seti out, but when they need still another 9 eliminations, they've got to find the players first. Cammy gonna rocket ram forward. Seti soon to follow. Seti, though, he's lost his shields entirely as he drops back down with the rest of the lobby. Seti nearly out of the count for real this time. And now Cammy doing what he can to try and back his duo up. Seti will find a brief moment, but it still might not be enough. They need these eliminations. It doesn't matter if they get the placements.
Here we go, Cammy on the run right now, trying to find some eliminations. Moneymaker might just be the next one, but another team's next door. Cammy has a decision to make, misses out on the opportunity to find elimination. Seti here. Still 22 players in this lobby. Anything can happen right now. Should they just go on a run? Should they go on a streak? Acorn still up, off to the side. Has a solo right now. No builds for Acorn either. It's looking a little dicey here.
But Acorn, just to try and see if he can buy himself in cold. Another couple of points, everything matters as far as placements are concerned for some of these other teams. Sure, it might not be first, but it's still the difference between thousands of dollars as far as his leaderboard is concerned. Acorn's gonna try to take a shot from some players on the backside. KVM Rapid looking for his escape. He still has Batman Bugo with him. So many solos and Orlando duos, but the zone is gonna pull back in Acorn's favor. Cammy, meanwhile, Seti, meanwhile, they're still keeping the charge going.
How are they still alive right now? Truly fighting for it. Cammy needs a second here. He's got to drink the slurp juice or at least find a siphon. Something up the 2. Trulex, Chiche on the low ground here. Have to continue to fight back. Have to continue to fight back. It's all or nothing now. You need everyone here. They have to finish things up. They have to take out the lobby. Earn as much as you can. The chance is theirs. And there you have it. Cammy and Seti will have to fight their way up to earn as much as possible here, but what a run it has been for Cammy and Seti. Rapid and Batman Boogar in front of them. Who will be the next to fall?
It is an absolute scramble, though, throughout the low ground. Teams are just falling all over the place, and it's going to be finally Cammy, Seti, with a little bit of a layer separation here. Other teams in the mid-ground. But it's going to be Flixie first.
Oh!
Nearly putting an end to the Polish run, but instead, Cammy, Seti turning around 180, no problem.
3 eliminations now. Trulex, Chicho on the high ground with 6. All of a sudden, trying to make a comeback here. What a tournament run it has been. You gotta have nothing but appreciation and support for Cammy and Seti, who are fighting for it and keeping it interesting. Oh my gosh, 4 HP, down goes Chicho. Cammy will not give this up without a fight. Trulex now coming in. He's hurt. It's a 2v1. What you gonna do? Got a player behind him. Trulex gets broken out here. Cammy still giving him a run for it. 1 build. No builds. 2v1. He's healthier, but there are 2. Cammy goes in. No shot hit. Trulex finds it. Siphon comes through. It's now a 1-on-1, and Trulex wins the game with 9 elims. You gotta love it, but your global champions are here.
Miro and Cooper from day 1 getting knocked out of the upper bracket to standing tall here in day number 3, our championship Sunday. Your 2023 global champions even, Miro and Cooper.
Cooper looked up to Miro, reached out to Miro, asked him to play as his duo, and who would have thought it would have been $1 million coin flip. Congratulations, Miro. Congratulations, Cooper. You are our 2023 global champions. Lift that trophy. How amazing it must feel. How great to be the global champions. Miro and Cooper, you have done it. Through the ups, through the downs, this weekend, this entire tournament is yours.
Everything was for this moment. champion.
The vibes in this room right now are absolutely insane. Congratulations once again, Cooper, Miro, global champions. They hit the ground running. A second place, a fifth place. They did not stop. Mini Minor Kelly, they had eyes and sight on that trophy. They came into today, they knew what they wanted, and they broke through.
What a start for the day for them. What a finish to the day for them. They were almost faultless throughout the entire day. I'm trying to look for things that could have been better. Maybe they could have done that differently. They just popped off. I don't know how they did it.
Every single step of the competition, from the early to mid to late game, when it came to farming, when it came to engagements, when it came to rotating, they did everything almost perfectly. It was absolutely incredible to watch this duo do what they do best, and that is consistency.
What a great storyline for this duo as well. You have the experience of someone like Miro, who I was going to say 5. Let's make that 6.
Oh, yeah.
FNCS titles to his name. Of course, picking up Cooper, an underrated, less experienced IGL who has taken the reins and led them to a huge victory by an absolute landslide almost.
And we've talked about this throughout the entire weekend. The fact that this duo almost didn't exist, that it literally came down to a coin flip. This is